which I was quite disgusted at. Anyway, Wayne, you need to hurry up and get in the show. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all right. Waiting for Mr. Juan to come and join us. He's putting Freddie to bed, I think he said. So just waiting for him. Josh, I presume, is either at work or at college. But I have sent him the link, and you never know. He may join us, he may not. Well, how is everybody? Did you enjoy your Father's Day yesterday? Pardon me. I went over and saw one of my daughters and my grandkids, and my grandson's weird. He decided he was going to be a zombie and eat me, like literally eat me in the back garden, and spent about half an hour wrestling with me, like which was nice. So yeah, it was good all round yesterday. But how is everybody? How are you out there in UFO world and Ghost world? And Ghost is downstairs, by the way, and she's fine. And cryptid world. Hope you're not burning up too much or getting too hot. I've got some new tech to try. I've got some night vision, which I'm just charging. I'm going to try these out at work. So I'll let you know how that goes. Oh, and here he is.
Hello.
You're right. You want to kill him?
No, actually, it's just flipping hot.
Yeah, it is. It's boiling. It's been 28 today. And just
We've had a maximum of 32 in my kitchen.
Well, that's because you're in the fucking kitchen, you idiot.
This is the coolest part of the house.
Stop that. We had they changed the boiler here a couple of days ago, and we were sat downstairs. It was like a fucking sauna in the front room, and I mean sauna. And we sat there and the sweat's dripping off us, and then we went. Rachel goes, "Fucking radiator." She goes, "Radiator's hot," and I'm like, "The idiots put the radiators on to test it and didn't tell us." And we're just all sat there melting, and we're like, "Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you, thank you." So yeah.
Yeah, we got fans in the living room because that's the hottest part of the house in the afternoon. From midday onwards, that's the hottest part of the house, or the hottest side of the house. So of course, but the kitchen has only got the extractor fan, so you can only suck out the hot air. There's nothing to replace it.
Oh,
so
okay.
we have little mini fans dotted about the place, trying to blow cool air, and the extractor fan taking out all the hot air.
Mini fans. What is that, like dwarves that go around going, "Wayne, Mark, yeah!"
I don't know where they are though. The kids have got them up in the bedrooms now. The little dinky ones.
That noise you can hear is I've got a tower fan on the drawers there, just blowing air in here because the bedroom's really hot. Oh yeah.
Quite nifty little things.
So, what do you make of all this bollocks that's going around at the moment? That there never were any UFOs. We said that the UFOs were there as a cover-up for our own crap.
To be honest, I haven't heard anything about that. All I have heard about is all these UFOs that are too big to move.
Quite frankly, the American government, that's the latest thing that they came out with, was there aren't any UFOs. We lied to you for decades so that we could cover up our own shit, our own experiments that we're doing. And I am sorry, but and the British government have sort of gone, yeah, well, yeah, maybe, yeah. If anybody believes that, you're a fucking idiot. No.
It's like the boy that cried wolf, isn't it? They've lied so many times. They've gone to and fro so many times now that it's got to a stage where it don't matter what they say. Yeah. No one's going to believe a word they say. Nobody trusts them anymore.
Well, the thing is, we all know UFOs are real. We know they're here. We know they've been here for a long time. And what the US government forgets is they are not the center of the universe. They don't rule any other bit apart from North America, United States of America. That's it. They don't rule any other country. But they try and tell everybody that because they've said this and they've said that, then that's it for the whole of the rest of the world. But they seem to forget that Brazil opened up all its UFO files and produced all its videos and all its photos and said, yep, we've been in contact with them for decades. Talk to us about it. We'll tell you all about it. Look, here's the videos. Here, look at everything. You know, and Italy has. Spain has done a lot of it. Quite a lot of Europe's done a lot of it. Russia's come out with it. But according to the American government, no. Every single UFO sighting, encounter, probing operation, taken off in space, whatever, every single one was a load of bollocks done by the US Secret Services. And as I say, I'm sorry, but if anybody believes that, and I mean anybody believes that, you're a fucking idiot. Absolute idiot. They have lied so much, and now they've gone and done this one as well. To be fair, it's not unexpected. I think we all thought they were going to do some shit like this, but I didn't realize they were going to try and turn around and go, no, yeah, we lied to you because of this. Mugs.
It's a case. It is literally a case of they believe it that much that they're prepared to go to any extremes to prove their point.
It's all out there. Everyone knows. Everyone fucking knows. Like, you know, and now they're trying this one, and it's like, I think what probably when they brought out that investigation, and it was the Wall Street Journal that did the investigation into it. The Wall Street Journal, as we all know, is owned and run by the American government anyway. So them investigating it means nothing. And then when they came out of it, I literally think the rest of the world read it and went, and you heard the collective like that. You know,
the collective slap.
Yeah, and like most of Europe's just gone, okay, you know, and then it just gets better and better and better. You know, I was recently, and I mean very, very recently, as in about 2 days ago, 3 days ago, speaking to somebody who is, I can't say too much, but they were number 3 of 8 on a secret British unit. And they were telling me a lot of things about, and it was to do with the RAF, and they were telling me a lot of things about what goes on in certain places, and we aren't alone at all. And they were, you know, paid to cover things up and this, that, and the other, and assist in recoveries and things. And I had some very interesting stuff said to me, but I have to be very careful what I say because I'm not going to get this person in trouble. So,
or yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'm just listening to a story that's told to me at work.
But the problem is you signed the OSA.
I haven't.
You should have done. You're serving in the military.
I have for that, but I haven't for any stories that are told to me.
But there you go. That covers everything. OSA covers everything for 50 years.
Well, I haven't. I'm 53. Fuck off. I haven't mentioned anything. Actually, I'm 53 the day after tomorrow. I haven't mentioned anything, but I will. I'll get some more information out of this person, and I'll see what I think, and I'll let you know. But yeah, they have said very, very definite, and they weren't drunk or high or anything like that. They were very, very definite that we're not alone. We haven't been alone for a long times, and they said centuries. And it's been known, and the people in charge originally were the Vatican, and that they knew all about it, and they hid everything, and then they just passed it down to the upper echelons. They passed it down to various governments and said, you cannot talk about it. And it was all originally to do with religion and power. If you bucked the religion and power status quo back then, the whole world would have imploded.
Yeah.
You know, and now you've got the Bobbermans trying to keep it all up, and everybody's got to the state. We know it's crap, mate. We know it's absolute horseshit. Is anybody's messages working? Because
I don't know. I'm struggling to see it. According to mine, we've only got one person watching.
no, it's 4.
I've only got one minute.
There's 4 on one network at the moment. I can't 5. If I click on it to go and get the other networks, it'll tell me. But yeah, I'm not getting any. There's no comments. Hang on, I'm going to put boo. Just see if it's all working. If not, why you're not talking and joining in? Right, I've put boo up there. Now, is that coming up?
It's what? I've got catching up to do.
It's not
Nothing
working.
like jumping in on a live, is there? You know.
You're right, Ellen.
Hi.
Well, if anybody is going to be in the chat, I can see you on this, and so can Wayne. So we'll put through this one, all right? Don't worry. For some reason, it's not.
Of course it is. You nudge the table, you donut.
Do you know what I actually watched last night? And Rachel's been telling me for ages it's really good, and I've never seen it. You'll have seen it. 28 Days Later. I've never seen it.
Yep.
So
I can't wait for the new one, actually.
That's
Pretty
coming up
easy.
on the app. And yeah, the 28
Yeah.
years later, is it?
28 years later.
Yeah. So we've put 28 months. Is it weeks later or months later?
So you got 28 days later, then 28 weeks later. Excuse me, I've just got to get some ham out the fridge.
Ham? Is that like your acting?
It's for the cat. There we go.
We have a Lilo down there and a Bob back up in the window because it's been too hot for them. Absolutely baking. But yeah, I'm going to go back to this shit with the American Bobbermans. I'm sorry, but any government of any country that takes it on itself to say we are the world leaders, we are this, we are that. Forget that your country is made up from immigrants from all sorts of other countries that went over there, and all the Native Americans as well. You're not the world leaders. We have our own countries with our own leaders. You're the leader of the USA and North America. So you worry about your stuff that's going on and forget about the rest of the world because it's fuck all to do with you. But turning around and then saying, oh, yeah, we've lied to you for decades because it wasn't UFOs. It was actually our own secret experiments that we were doing. But we had to find a story to cover it up.
I mean, it's beggars belief, really, isn't it? You know, it's like you go right the way back to the Roswell incident. You know, at first they said it was a flying saucer. Then they changed it to it was a weather balloon. And you're like, well, you know, you've already described what the object was. So how could it all of a sudden go from hard metallic object to a weather balloon, which isn't hard? You know, and then later on it comes down the line that, yeah, it did happen, then it didn't happen, but it did happen and it didn't happen. And then all the other UFO sightings and other UFO reports come in, which they tried to cover up. But eventually, all these people are coming forward and going, well, actually, it did happen, but we were told to be quiet.
Yeah.
So the American government or any government now turning around and saying, none of this happened, none of that exists. Everybody's just going to sit there and go, whatever.
Yeah.
See, it can't happen. They can't cover it up anymore.
Yeah, it's fine. And the fact is they know that it's got to that. It's got to that bit. They can't lie. They can't cover it up anymore. So what they're going to do is sell a fucking great big lie that encompasses all of it.
Yeah, they knew they were losing control.
Yeah.
They knew they were losing control, and now they've lost control because now they've got to the stage where it's gone too far and everything's just gone round full circle.
Yep. It's ridiculous. It's redonkulous, isn't it, Lilo? Yeah, see, she agrees. If that's what they want to do, go ahead and do it. But all they're doing is making themselves look like complete and utter tits to the rest of the world. No one believes a fucking word that comes out of their mouths now. This is only an American Bobberman. I'm not having a pop at Americans or American. What do you call them over there? states and counties and stuff. Just the idiots in charge. Same as ours over here. We got a bunch of idiots over here in charge. They're fucking idiots. A whole lot of them.
Yeah.
We got nasty things going on over here with ethnic rape gangs going on that our Prime Minister went, oh, no, we're not going to investigate that. No. And because everybody went, you fucking what, mate? He's gone, oh, I'd better investigate it. The man's an idiot. We have a gobshite in charge over here. You got a gobshite in charge over there as well. So, you know, I will say one thing, though, too. Our brothers from other planets and stuff that are listening in and watching on whatever the fuck up there and in their ships. None of us on Earth want a war with any other country. Unfortunately, for some reason, you get heads of state in a certain country, North America, and all of them like to go, look at me got big muscles, me start fight, and they always rattle their sabers and try and start a fight. Nobody knows why. It's to make them look big, good, so that when the next one comes on, they go, you weren't as good as the last one, were you? But what they forget is, you know, the likes of Putin and Trump and everybody, and to all the ones in the Middle East that are kicking off, no one survives a thermonuclear war. Even the ones of you that shit scared and go down into the bunkers, you're going to have nothing left to come up to. Nothing you can eat, nothing you can drink, no other humans. Maybe some people have been mutated, whatever, but there'll be nothing. There is no winners in any thermonuclear war, any biological war, any chemical war. So stop. Stay out of other countries' business. Let them sort it out for themselves. It's fuck all to do with you. That's my piece on that. It's like your neighbour coming in and telling you how to fucking cook your dinner, you know? Like, get the fuck out. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, no, we haven't got UFOs. No, we were just covering up our own shit. So what shit was it you were covering up? Don't rightly know, but I'll get back to you on that. It's absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. So those of you out there, send some messages. We don't know if you're there.
Again, I find it quite funny that there's all these things going on now to distract people away from other things.
Yep.
You know, Ukraine war, we hardly hear anything about at the moment.
Yep, because
now it's about something else. Now we've got this business with Israel and Iran, which I am finding totally hilarious because, and I'm not being horrible. I'm not being horrible towards anybody, but there's a big distance between Israel and Iran. And there's a lovely country called Iraq in between the two, along with Yemen.
That we went in twice and mullered because we said they had weapons of mass destruction. No, sorry. The US government said they had weapons of mass destruction.
And you've got the Yemen and you've got Turkey. So you've got all these countries in between Israel and Iran.
Mm.
And the Yemen even shot down some of the missiles that came from Iran.
Yeah.
So all of this now is a distraction away from other things. The Ukraine war and the Russia business, that seems to have just sort of, there's little bits going on, but not much. It's all about Israel and Iran now. And now all the conspiracy theorists are kicking off about that now, saying it's the Zionists and all this, that, and the other. And you just like, at the end of the day, stop firing missiles at each other because it ain't going to prove nothing.
It's stupid. It's really stupid. You know, all this with Ukraine. You know, I work with a really, really good Ukrainian. He's a really nice guy. And he tells us exactly what's going on over there because he speaks to his family every night and they tell us what's going on. It's the money. It's the money because they need the money for weapons and this, that, and the other. And certain problems going, no. And like the latest round of missiles that happened, it happened because Ukraine in the fucking ceasefire went and fired a load of drones at them. And that's why they supposed to be.
They sent some drones to the airports, didn't they? The military airfields, and blew up a load of the bombers.
Yeah. I don't blame them, but it's supposed to be a ceasefire.
Well,
so you know,
a
bit silly. But even Ukrainians themselves are just like, originally, it was unfair what they did, and the war shouldn't have started. But even now, they're just perhaps each other. You know, I don't know. But yeah, all this. I've got no internet apparently. What's going on here? Yes, I have. We're going out live. Yeah, it's just all a lot of.
Hi, Nicola. Comments are working.
Hey, how you doing? We were just saying about how the US government, who is the world leader for the whole of the world and speaks for the whole of the world, it says that every single UFO incident, occurrence, abduction, probing, zipped off into space, bonkings in some cases in South America, weren't real. And it was all a load of mythos made up by the North American government since the Civil War, since the US Civil War, to hide any experiments and experimental weaponry and craft that they were making. And it was all down to them. They created the whole thing. And that's every single thing that's happened in every single country around the world. It was all down to North America. And us rational people are going, bollocks.
I think the problem is that through every century there has been one particular country that has had to want to have dominance over everybody else. And as technically the United States is a fairly new country in terms of historical fact, it's almost as if they're trying to have their turn.
Yeah. You had the Romans, you had the Turkish, you had the Germans having a crack at it. Us, yeah. You know.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know, it's strange because then you get into the situation with the Chagos Islands, and then you've got the argument with the Falkland Islands, then you've got the arguments with Gibraltar, and a lot of people aren't actually realising that some of the islands, like specifically the Chagos Islands and the Falkland Islands, they never belonged to the countries that say they're ours in the first place. Yeah. The Falkland Islands never belonged to Argentina, ever in Argentina's history, and the Chagos Islands never actually belonged to Mauritius. So, you know, and yet we're paying to give it back. To who? Because the only people we need to give it back to is ourselves. We colonised it.
It's silly. It's really, really silly. Like when you look back at all the stuff with the Vikings and Leif Erikson and stuff like that, you know, they thought Leif Erikson was the first Viking to get to US, but they found much older remains and proof that there were Vikings there earlier up on the Canadian North American border. So, oh yeah, and then what was it? Canada trying to start war with North America or something a while back, and it was like, shut up, and they stopped.
I think if anything, it would have been a trade war because of all the tariffs that were being put on, and the old the Canadians turned around and said, "But if that's the case, we'll stop sending you maple syrup, we'll stop sending you this, we'll stop sending you energy," because a lot of the northern areas of North America get their electricity from Canada.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, that's fine. We'll just keep the electricity for ourselves then.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was, maybe that's not a good idea.
I don't know what he thought he was playing at, doing those massive tariffs for everybody. I understand that's me, Canada. I understand we want to make our own stuff and buy from our own things. I get that. Yeah, completely get that. Like I said earlier, our Prime Minister fucked over our farmers over it. Wondered why he had a load of shit from it. You know, I wonder why. And you'll get heads of countries. They do all this shit. Like, look at me. I'm going to this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to this. As soon as they do it, it bites them in the ass, and then they go, "Oh, shouldn't have done that." You know, and now, you right?
Yeah, it's all right. Ellen keeps trying to talk to me. She knows we're live.
Yes, Ellen, tell everybody what you want to say. Tell everybody. Come on, tell everybody what you want to say.
She just wants to nick my hoodie so she can go out looking for the cat.
Ladies and gentlemen, can Ellen nick Wayne's hoodie so she can go out looking for a cat?
Too late, already got it.
I'd be like, yeah, right, okay, why do you want a hoodie in this temperature?
Because the amount of flying stag beetles that are outside.
Stag beetle season.
No, do you know? When I used to live just outside London, I can remember my mate we were on motorbikes. It's a long time ago, and we were hurtling down this hill, middle of the countryside. And he didn't have a fucking visor on his helmet, full face helmet, no visor. And we were flying down. You could see the stag beetles because they do like a cloud, you know. There was loads of them, and he was coming down this hill, and all I see is him go, ah, like that, and he goes, yeah, into a hedge. To be fair, I was pissing myself laughing, and I've turned around and gone back. I like parked my bike out and gone over like Sandy, you're right, mate. And he's like, and his bike was fine because it was in the edge, and we got him out. And he literally, say that was the visor, you could just see stag beetle like that, and we lid off him and everything. And his fucking eye was out here, and he had a black eye, and he's like, I'm going to explain this to my missus. A stag beetle hit me in the eye. And it's like, try putting a visor on your fucking helmet, you twat.
Take a picture of it quick with all the stag beetle juice all over him.
Yeah. Well, it's before mobile phones with cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like 19, 20, I think. So, yeah. But, yeah, like I said, I'm 53 day after tomorrow. So that was a long time ago. But, yeah, I always remember that. It was funny as hell. This is the same guy who, when we were going down a golf course road, he was riding illegally. I was driving in the car, and he was driving illegally. And then all of a sudden, we just see him go flying past our car. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? You know, and he's gone flying past our car, hopped a bank, and he's gone through the edge of the golf course. And the next thing we know, a police car's come hurtling past. Couldn't see him. Police car's gone flying down the road, and a couple of minutes later, he's come back through the hedge on the other side, and he'd come back out in front of us, going like that. So yeah. Everything's just. I remember the days when you could do shit like that. 7-day wonders and everything like that. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. 7-day wonder. Right.
But again, that's the advancement of technology now because it's all on PDAs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they can call it up straight away. I mean, I was sitting here with a friend of mine in Evans the other night, Saturday night, I think it was, and we were talking about bits that I need doing on my car. And he just looked out the window, typed something in on his phone, and he got my last MOT test up on his screen.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I can see it. You need this done, that, done this, done. I'm like, friggin' hell did you find that? Because without my paperwork, I wouldn't know what the advisories and that were. And yet he got them up on his phone.
Becky's tried to ring me and I cut it off. Right? I'm just going to show her. So everybody out there, make sure you say hello to Becky. So there you go. That's why I cut you off, because we're doing that.
Hello everyone.
Yeah, this is my eldest daughter, Becky.
Bye.
So, yeah.
Hello.
Call you afterwards.
All right, love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye. Right. She does this nearly every show, isn't it? She'll ring and it's like, there you go, Becky.
Yes, went through a phase where it was every week was the same. Bang on time.
Yeah. But yeah, I miss some of the old days where you could get away with a shit ton of stuff. When I was younger, I was a bit of a lad, as you can probably guess. Yes, I was a bit of a lad. So was Mr. Wayane. He was a bit of a lad. I think we all were. Everybody who's sort of like in their just turned early 50s, we were all dickheads when we were teenagers.
Yeah, I think it's the push the boundary phase, isn't it? It's to see how far you can push things.
Yeah.
And then when you realise you can't push it any further, that's when you stop.
I personally think your teens, your 20s is a learning curve where we're just dicks. Everyone's a dick. And you can only learn so much. And then you have to, when you get to the point where you step back and you look at yourself and go, Christ. You know? And so I really was a knob. You know? It took me until I became a dad. And even then, I was still a bit of a dick. So
I technically grew up pretty quickly because I left school at 15 because my birthday was in August. So my birthday was in August. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not here really. I'm a ghost. You know, I was. My birthday was in August. Because my birthday is in August, I left school at the end of June, had to go back for the exams, but that was it. But I was
I did.
too young to join. I was too young to join the Royal Air Force at 15. So they told me I had to go and work somewhere for a year or do something till I was old enough to join.
Yeah.
So I worked at Colchester Zoo for a year, and up to the point where I joined the Royal Air Force, that was my push things phase.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I joined the Royal Air Force, that was me sorted straight away. So my push things phase never really lasted long.
See, late teens and everything, and then I went into the. Well, you know I did. Yeah, I went into that stuff, and it didn't sort me out. Didn't sort me out. I was still a twat, and I came out, and then I was 30s, I think, when I went back TA. For light infantry, 6 LI, and now it's 6 rifles. But to be absolutely fair, I've got to the point now I'm a bit sick of it, because I'm starting to get even though I've done years and years and years of it, and I've done training and I've taught people and this, that, and that, I'm starting to get oh, you can't do that because of this. It never fucking bothered you 20 years ago when you wanted me to do stuff, did it? No. Didn't bother you like 3 years ago, did it? No. So what are you doing it now for? Oh, well, and I may have kicked up a bit of a fuss, and I may have walked away for a while and said, fuck you. So I'm not being treated like a piece of crap just because they're going to be. You got one idiot in there who's going. So,
but the thing is, though, back in the 90s was when everything started to change in the military, and they were supposed to be more accepting of females, homosexuals, disabled, all of that. It was all part and parcel of the MOD's compliance with the Disability Act and the Equality Act.
Yep.
And that was all the start of it. So to have those issues now, that raises big questions. Very big questions.
This is an ex-Marine who is an officer. He's an ex-Marine. He's now an officer in... I can't remember what he's in now. But yeah, he was an ex-Marine. And he's a training officer. He's a captain, I think. And everybody else, I've done all my stuff, all my weapon stuff, all my bloody heavy weapons and everything, flown for it. And then it came to him, and he was like, no, your hand, no. And I'm like, mate, I'm one of the best shots you've got. What are you fucking talking about? And then so I've kind of kicked off and said, not happy, not going to be coming back for a while. Sort it out. Oh, well, you need to come in and see us. No, I don't. You need to sort it out.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You want me that badly because it was you guys that came to me and asked me to go back. And I've spent all that time trying to get back. You want me to come back? You sort it out. If you don't, see you. Thank you for the uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need something to wear when I'm greasing up my bike.
Yeah. I've got some really nice boots as well. So I'm actually very proud of my cat badge. Very proud of my Bahrain cat badge. But I'm not proud of the way they treat people. Not now. I've never experienced it myself. I've had it a little tiny bit, and I've always fought a bit against it, and I've always won every single time. But this one dickhead, I'm like, do you know, fuck you. I don't need that. So yeah.
The thing is if everybody else can accept you, there's no reason why he can't.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I shall let you know. But yeah, back to all this nonsense with the Americans. And when I say Americans, I'm just talking about the government, their government. No, nobody else. Nobody watching. Just the American government, because they're a bunch of shady, shitty assholes. Shitty assholes. They really are. And like I say, our ones over here, our government, is just as bad. Just as corrupt and just as up each other's asses as the American government is. So it's literally, we've hit saturation point in the world as a whole. We've all hit that point where we don't believe anybody anymore. We know what the score is. We know what's going on. Why lie? And then they come out with this humongous, great big one. Oh yeah. We created the whole UFO thing to cover up. Fuck off, did you? Have you not seen the Renaissance paintings?
But that's the thing, isn't it? Like I said, they've said it so many times, and they've tried to convince themselves so much. that no one's washing it anymore. It's getting boring.
I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. You know, all the Jess is top of the morning to you. You're right, mate. Paranormal investigators Northern Ireland, I think. He's been on the show previously before. In fact, you can come back on again if you'd like, mate. Yeah, we're just talking about, for those of you who've joined on late, and I can see we've got people on YouTube now who've joined on late. We're just talking about all the bollocks that the American government has come out lately, saying that there's no such thing as UFOs. They made the whole thing up to cover up their R&D since the Civil War, the American Civil War. But they forget that you've got all the Renaissance paintings with UFOs in, and that the Vatican has got files and all this witness statements dating back to, I think, the 8th or 9th century, if my memory serves me right.
Well, so, I mean, even if you go back as far as the Book of Enoch.
Was America around then? No, I do not believe it was. I think the Native American Indian, in fact, I don't even know if the Native American,
could have been.
Because they was on a land bridge from Asia, didn't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, how are they going to explain all the out-of-place artifacts then? How are they going to explain precursors? How are they going to explain all the stuff that's proved there were civilizations around before us about 1 million to 1.5 million years ago? You know, they can't control the rhetoric. They cannot control it anymore. It's got.
They can't turn around and say, we wrote the Emerald Scrolls or the Emerald Tablets.
No, exactly, because there was no fucking North America. That's right.
It was us. But you see, that's the issue, isn't it? They try to change the narrative. I mean, I saw a TikTok the other day saying that it was all about America winning World War II, not the fact that it was a load of different countries all fighting together to win World War II.
They only stepped in about 3/4 of the way through and went, we're kind of losing some money because they're wiping out the ships that are coming over with our stuff. Do you want to join in?
Well, I mean, the Americans were indirectly involved at the start of the war by sending over supplies. But it took Japan to enter the war by bombing Pearl Harbor that actually physically brought the Americans into the war full time.
Well, they were asked by our government a while before that happened, can you join us? And they were like, no. And then when they started bombing the ships that were being sent over there with supplies, they were like, don't know. And then Pearl Harbor started.
You had. Sorry, I just got to move. You have. They had a squadron of pilots that came over that flew our planes on behalf of the Royal Air Force, but they were what the Americans classed as rejects from their own Army Air Force. So they volunteered to come over here and fly for us on our behalf. And then you had the likes of the Polish, the Free Czech, the Canadians. They all piled over to here.
And Red Tails, the Black Squadron.
Yeah, if it hadn't have been for Pearl Harbor, then the Americans' entry into the war would have been a lot later. They would have probably still entered the war, but it would have been a lot later on. And it certainly helped to win the war. They certainly didn't win it single-handedly. But to have Trump turn around and say, we single-handedly won the war.
Did you fuck, mate?
Big boo-boo.
No. It's like, like I said, we're not trying to bash the Americans because there's a lot of nice guys out there. It's just the American government. That's all. Just the American government because they're fucking idiots. They're all idiots. Those ours.
The problem is it's happening all over the place. You've got schools. You've got schools trying to change history. And I've had Chloe come home before and say, we did this in history today. I said, well, did they teach you this side of it? And they went, well, no. I said, so why are they only teaching you that side but not teaching you this side?
Yeah.
You've got to see it from both sides. And then they did this Culture Day. All right. And this really got me angry because they turned around to all the children in the school and said, you can come into school wearing cultural outfits. So if you are from Nigeria, you can wear your Nigerian national dress or something to do with Jamaica or something to do with that country. But the British kids weren't allowed to wear anything with a Union Jack on, or a jacket with a plate of fish and chips on, or something like that to show British culture. They still had to come in their uniform.
It's horseshit,
So I just turned around to them and said, "Well, you ain't going into school then."
Yeah.
And they went, "Why?" I said, "Because part of British culture was skiving off of school."
Yeah. What is it about, like, the kind? I mean, is it the Union Jack, or is it George Cross that is seen as a racist?
I think it's the whole thing. I think it's the Union flag. I think it's the whole Union flag. There are people out there that are just dead set against anything to do with Great Britain. You got to remember, it's the Union flag on land, but Union Jack at sea.
That's right, yeah. But it's bollocks. It's complete bollocks, When you think about it, our country, going back thousands of years, we're made up of immigrants from other fucking countries.
Yep.
Germans, French, the Irish, the Norse,
We're no different to every other country. Every other country has been colonised or taken over by another nation at some point in their history. And I mean, even when you look at the States, it's exactly the same thing. The people that were there first got booted out, basically.
Native Americans.
So, and it was the same here. We were overrun by the Romans. We were overrun by the Vikings. The Celts, all sorts. It's chopped and changed over the centuries, and every country has been the same, one way or another. It happens, but it's just because now it's more recordable history.
Yeah.
That we look at it and we say, "Oh, well, we got this, we got that, and we've done this, and we've done that," and we're like, "Yeah, okay." But if you go further back, you'll find that this country did that as well, and so did that country. Oh, and hang on a minute, so did this country, this country, this country. So
it's like my family over there. You got to remember that my family over there were originally born in the UK, with the exception of their kids, And they were saying that when you go to school over there, their history is bollocks. It's all US history. And it's got nothing to do with stuff outside the US, and all their history is wrong. They say we did this and we did that and we did this and we did that, but they leave out that the only reason they were able to do this was because of this other country and this other country and this other country.
Yeah.
And like the great inventions, they claim that a lot of the inventions that we did over here in the UK, they did. And it's like, why are you teaching false narrative? Why are you teaching false history? And unfortunately, it's these ones that grow up and they're the ones who go, "America, fuck yeah," and it's no wonder people have that image when the government and the schooling system makes them like that,
Yeah.
Keep it really daft.
It was like a TikTok I saw the other day. This American guy said about how they invented soccer. I'm like, really?
They invented soccer.
I think you'll find that soccer was football beforehand, and came from Great Britain originally.
Like cricket, you wait for it, they'll be like, "Oh, cricket, oh yeah, we invented." No, fuck off. Soccer, because our American football is based on rugby, for God's sake.
Yeah. Only American football. Again, I'm not dissing Americans at all in any way, but I say American football is rugby for wussies.
With all the padding.
Yeah. Padding and helmets.
I used to play rugby over here. You don't need the padding. It fucking hurts, but you don't need it. But
hard nuts American football.
It's silly. As I say, we've got family and friends over in the US, especially young Mr. Beardy himself, Josh, and him and his family are awesome. So we're not knocking Americans. Him himself, he'll turn around and say the American government's just talking out their asses, and they are. And that's what it's all about. It's mainly about the American government being dicks. Absolutely stupid.
Like most of them, really.
Yeah. What do you guys make of it? Message us, let us know. It's just got silly over there. As I say, if they seriously expect the whole world to turn around and believe their rhetoric that there aren't anything such as UFO, because it was all them making it up just to disguise all their R&D weapons and vehicle development. And you're expecting the whole world to turn around and go, oh yeah, it's all right. You've got to be.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, as well, is the technology that's being used as well. You know, I mean, obviously, when the Roswell incident happened, there was this material that would unfold itself.
Yep.
You could crumple the material up and it would unfold itself. And that was what, 1957?
47. No, it was 40. Roswell, that was 40s.
Oh, right. Okay, so about 40. That was after the war, wasn't it? It wasn't during the war, it was after it.
I think it was like
so
46, 47.
But I mean, even then, I don't think we had any metallic materials that would unfold themselves and have strange symbols on them like that.
No.
And of course, there's been too many witnesses have come forward since the Roswell incident that have said, we saw this material was in the back of his car and he showed it to me.
That's right.
It was the bloke who said that his dad went over to the site and brought this material in the back of his car.
Right.
And he showed him it, and it had all the weird insignias on it, and it folded up, and then it uncrumpled itself. You know, how could you deny that after a witness statement that's clearly sat there and said that this material was crumpled up and then unraveled itself, had all these strange insignias on, but it was a weather balloon?
The original photos, because it was a big magazine piece about alien craft. And they took the photos, and then the government got involved and said, no, you got to tell them it was this and tell them it was that. And they went, oh, okay. And then they did a big thing saying, we're really sorry, we got it wrong. It was a weather balloon. But they'd already shown the photos of the material and the spars with the hieroglyphs on the stuff. And it's like,
yeah.
It's not fucking
And
weather balloon,
it also goes against everything that the likes of the Roswell testimonies, even Jim Penniston and the Rendlesham Forest testimonies. It goes against everything that they have come out with.
Yep.
And all other UFO reports around the world are all now being called liars because of what they have witnessed. And that's not a good move. That's not a good move at all.
No, it's not at all. They wonder why people don't believe them, and it's just silly. Like, and if you just the whole fact that you get sightings from in every other country, and they're trying to turn around and say, yeah, that was us. So you were in communist China developing weapons for yourselves, but you're in deepest, darkest communist China, and you're in Nazi Germany developing weapons for yourselves, and you're in the thick of the USSR during the Cold War developing weapons for yourselves. And every single sighting in all those countries that you didn't get on with, or nobody else got on with, that was you over there developing weapons for yourselves. And you expect the whole world to believe that.
All propaganda then, isn't it? Basically.
It's a lot of horse shit.
So everything we were told about the hatred between the Americans and the Russians during the Cold War, that didn't actually exist. All the issues between Palestine and Israel, that doesn't exist. The issue with the Gulf War, that really didn't exist. It was all about propaganda. And you know, they really did get on with each other because the Americans had secret bases where they were developing these advanced weapons that nobody else was to know about apart from them. Yet they're doing it in a nation that is allegedly not a nice country.
Yeah, like I say, Nazi Germany, communist China, sightings in North Korea. So North Korea, the middle of the USSR, like, and we're talking right in the middle of Tunguska, the Dyatlov Pass, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Bullshit. You're laying claim for every single mysterious UFO incident and cryptozoology that could be done as UFO rhetoric. You're trying to say that every single one, all around the world for the whole time was you. And you forget your country is only very, very young. So what about all the sightings that were done before your country was North America, the United States of America? What happened there? All the stuff the Vatican's got of sightings from down for the last nearly 1,000 years, if not more. What about Nessie? Is Nessie? Were you over here developing secret underwater craft for the last? God, I think there's a fourth century sighting from a priest who saw Nessie.
So Nessie was a lizard-looking submarine. Try to camouflage it by making it look like a lizard, like a dinosaur.
Yeah, nearly 2,000 years ago. But hey, North Americans went back in time. North American government went back in time to develop it.
But they did. They used the deglocker.
Did you think they actually read this and go, yeah, fuck yeah, this will work, fuck yeah? Or did they read it out and as they were reading it out, I'd go, oh. The fact that the Wall Street Journal, who we all know is run by the American government anyway, they've come out and gone, yes, it's definitely this. I'm sorry, but come on,
I thought we were born yesterday.
Well, apparently so. Well, apparently if they've got the deglocker, they were born yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
And the kids that were born yesterday, of course, they were born yesterday, but
But yeah. So to everybody out there in UFO land, we got it wrong. It was the North American involvement this whole time. Oh, how did we not know this? Whole time it was them.
Yeah. All those people that had been abducted or witnessed UFOs or witnessed aliens, they were all lying really, and they were paid to say these lies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
We believe you. Not.
Yeah. It's. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it anymore. I mean, the fact that they've come out with this, and how arrogant have you got to be to come out with some horse shit like that and be absolutely convinced that the rest of the world are going to believe you? How?
Yeah. But like I said, it's the boy that cried wolf. They've convinced themselves that that's the truth, and so they're running with it.
Yeah,
and they expect everybody else to believe them as well.
You've got mass hysteria. You've got fool some of the people all the time, and you can't fool all the people. No, you can fool some of the people all the time, but you can't fool all of the people some of the time. Or whatever the fuck that phrase is, but you know what I mean. And to come out with all this just utter drivel, and the sheer arrogance, to say, yeah, it was us. Yeah. Just, the fucking what's-it-haired man, the nylon-haired what's-it in a suit. Him turning around, just fuck off, mate. I had high hopes for him because there's two, I still forgot to get the names of those space fleet ships that are actually up there. I can't remember them, but there's two ships up there. He wants boots on the moon. There's already boots on the moon. You got the NASCAR lines bases that have been found that are centuries, if not more, old. They found stuff up on the moon. There's proof, evidence of structures on the moon. Wayne and I saw evidence of structures on the moon before the whole lot got wiped and taken off the internet. And I strongly suspect we weren't the only people who saw that stuff.
No, there must have been more people that had seen it than just us.
But to be fair, whoever wiped it out of the internet did a very good job of zero trace. But we saw it. We know it's up there.
Yeah.
We're not making this shit up because we do the show. We genuinely saw it. We definitely saw it. And then when we went to go back to it to show it on the show, it had been completely removed. It didn't exist. So make it out what you will, but there is stuff up there. There is stuff out there. There's stuff on the moon. There's supposed to be stuff on Mars. Probably wouldn't surprise me. There's definitely stuff under the sea, and there's stuff in Antarctica. And they've now found. And have you noticed that since all this stuff with the UFOs and the lizard people and this, that, and the other, and blah 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 blah, and the base in Antarctica, all the findings that they had, that there is proof there is forests, lakes, and everything under our crust. That's all stopped. That's very.
But this is what I mean. It gets to a stage where they're talking about something, and then when it gets too in depth and things are going to start getting revealed, all of a sudden something will happen that affects the whole globe.
Yeah.
That makes you forget what's going on and what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Because this has taken presidency.
Yeah.
And it always seems to be the constant thing, we're getting close to getting disclosure. Oh, this has just happened. This is all kicking off. Oh, so all the news and media channels are all diverted to that rather than to what they were doing.
Well, mainstream news and media is controlled by the bubbles anyway. That's why you just don't bother watching it. They only put on what they want you to see.
Yeah.
You want the real news, use a non-mainstream browser. Use that like DuckDuckGo or Tor or something like that. You'll find out the real news, and you'll be able to do a lot more research into your particular realm of the paranormal. You won't be able to do that properly on mainstream browsers. That's what I use. So, and on that note, I tell you what, this heat is royally screwed.
Oh no, I've been sitting here in the kitchen been backwards and forwards throughout the house and doing various. Picking Nathan up from his last exam and various bits and bobs. As soon as I've got back in the house, the shirt's come off and I've just sat in the kitchen when I've had a chance in just my shorts. And I'm like, I'm going to have to put my shirt on now because we're going on the show. And then I had to get Tams into bed. She'd fallen asleep in the living room. So I'm like, oh, crap, I'm going to take my shirt off again, take her upstairs to bed, come back down, get my shirt back on. And I have gradually increased in temperature while I've got this shirt on. I'm sticking to it already.
Same, that's why I've got the fan on. So I'm going to say bye-bye and go, and I'm going to take my T-shirt off and go sit downstairs and eat a dinner. And then go to bed because I'm fucked. But, so yeah, I'm sorry I've been a bit sleepy today. I'm sorry, I apologise to the people of America. No one's trying to rip piss out of you guys. It's just the government.
No, I love the Americans. I think they're awesome people. It's like we say, it's just the people in charge that are dickheads.
And I will say, I do think the Bible Belt, not just in America, but in the whole world as a whole, needs to wake up a little bit and smell the roses, because it's not all what's made out. That's all I'll say. Do your research yourself. For those of you ufologists and cryptozoologists, paranormal people and stuff, as I say, use non-mainstream browsers and start doing some research, and you'll find some very interesting things out there. So, and on that note,
Tony's in Skeggy.
Yeah. I am
20 degrees.
It is. What is it?
He's having his birthday drinks. That's what it is.
Well, as I say, day after tomorrow is my birthday. So I'm doing 1 day at work tomorrow. I've been off for 2 days. Got a day at work tomorrow. And then I'm off for a week. So we're going, what are we doing? We're going to Whitby. We're going to Whitby on my birthday. And might go into town and go on a bit of a pub crawl.
Are you going to go up to the Abbey?
I think so, yeah. So, and we're going to be doing something on Friday as well. So we might definitely go out for a pub crawl on Friday. Cool. By the way, if you're watching this, Rachel, before I ask you, can we go for a pub crawl on Friday? So anyway, I'll speak to you in a week, mate, and I will take it easy. And fuck, I'm rambling because I'm tired. What have you got going on before we go? Tell them.
Not much at the moment. I think I'm out. We're filming for Truth Beyond Paranormal on Saturday, and pretty much it at the moment.
Okay.
Been nice and quiet because I've had 5 weekends. I've just finished 5 weekends of investigating, so it's been pretty hectic and it's been pretty tiring because obviously as soon as the weekend's over, it's back to midweek and we've got the kids to get to school, so it's getting up early again, and it's just sort of shock to the system doing 5 weeks where it's constant, no chance for a break, and you just like get to the end of it and you're like, I'm gone. Hi, Nigel.
North Pole guys. Well, we're just about to go, mate. So watch your son replay. You're one.
I was going to say, Nigel, you're coming at the wrong time, mate. We're just finishing.
Yeah. And Skeggy, yes, because Skeggy's about 30 miles from me, I think, and it's 20 degrees here as well, so it's very warm. So the trouble is I work at night. I work afternoon nights. I work afternoon nights, and then I've got all the afternoon nights that I do, and then when it goes to the summer holidays, it's in season for where I work, so I got back to doing days. I get so tired. And tomorrow I'm in the gatehouse, so that means it's going to be like a fucking greenhouse in there. So I'm going to.
Oh God!
I bought myself and Rachel neck
fans.
Yeah, and they're fully charged, and oh my God, they're so good. So, yeah.
Good night, Tony. Enjoy the rest of your birthday, mate.
Yeah, happy birthday, mate. Have a really, really good one, and have some beers for me. My birthday day after tomorrow, so I'll have some beers for you. And on that note, it is goodbye from him.
And it's good night from him.
Somewhere he's on one side. I don't know which side you're fucking looking at. And we'll see you later.
Microwave.
Let's play you out with something. I might even play you out with the intro again, because quite frankly, I like the intro. So we'll do that. Right. Take it easy, guys, and we will see.